Alright, so here we are in Autodesk Maya. First things first, to set up our reference, we need to go to Polygon Primitives. Oh, by the way, you also need to check that you've got your project set to the right folder. So in my case, it's this folder. So if I select that folder, you'll see when I try to bring in images, it will point exactly to where I kept all the images. But if not, it's okay, you know how to manage. I'll go to create Polygon Primitives and I'll just choose plane. Press F on my keyboard. You'll see that it has a lot of subdivisions, so we don't want that. Going to your channel box here, scroll down, you see polyplane. Let's just change the subdivision width and height to 1. Press enter. So we have a pretty simple plane going on here. Alright, good. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to apply a new material to it. So do as what I do. Right mouse button and hold, assign new material, and I will choose one of the Maya materials here. Click Maya there, and I'll say make it a Lambert. Alright, so automatically your attribute editor comes up. You have all these 4 tabs. We're gonna choose the rightmost tab, which is called Lambert here. In the color attribute, we're gonna click that so that the create render node window comes up. We want this color to be driven by a file, so I'm gonna click file here, and now we're in the file node, file tab. So under image name there is a folder icon here. Click that and you'll see it points exactly to my source images folder earlier from the previous video. Click the reference, and since we're looking at it from the top, I'll choose top for start. Click open. Alright, cool. Now we have our thumbnail here, although we can't see it here, and the reason for that is because we haven't got hardware texturing switch on. So we're gonna have to check this. The shortcut for this is 6 on your keyboard, so I'll just click that and you will see that you have your texture placed onto the plane like so. Sweet. Right, let's just continue this. So I will actually duplicate this by pressing Ctrl D, which is duplicate, and press E, and we'll rotate it in this way. Because I know I want it to be perpendicular, and I see that rotate X has changed, I will actually change this to 90 and press enter. Now you have a totally perpendicular plane. Right, with this selected, well, you can rename it if you want, so let's just rename it very quickly. I'll select this one. I will double click here and we'll call this top. I'll select this guy. I'll name it front. Sweet. Right, so we can't just change the material just like that. What we need to do is assign a new material. So with this one selected, I'll right mouse button, and again I'll assign a new material. Again, do the same thing. You can use Lambert, and in the color attribute, click that, choose file, in the icon, click that. So I know this is gonna be front, double click that, and you'll have this. Right, so now we have the top looking correct, the front looking correct. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the side. With that selected, I'll press Ctrl D and press E, and I will rotate it only in the green axis. So I'll do that. And let's have a look in the channel box. I'll see that rotate Y has changed, so I'll just enter 90 there. So that will give me a perpendicular looking plane going that way. Alright, so where were we? Okay, so now I have, let me just see, what is this? Lambert tree. Okay. Okay. So I think I forgot to do that. So let me just see. This is Lambert tree too. Okay. Right mouse button, assign new material. Go to Maya again. Choose Lambert. Now it's Lambert 4. I'm gonna plug a color here. Sorry, a file here inside the color attribute. Click file. Do the same thing again. I'm gonna choose side now. Now we have it on the side. Sweet. Okay, this is all good. Let's go back to the channel box, because with the channel box we have this layer editor that we're going to use next. Now let's just bring up our 4 views, and I will press A in all of it, or F. Does F work? F works as well, so it'll frame everything in view. And we're gonna use our shortcut, which is 6. So I'll press 6 on all the viewport here. 6, 6, 6. Sweet. Press 6 on my keyboard, by the way. And then we are going to grab a cube. So let's go to create polygon primitives. Since we're doing box modeling, polygonal modeling, we're using the box modeling method. Let's just get a cube. Alright, so we have a cube here. It's not too bad, but what's kind of not working is it's too big. So we know we can resize that. So I press R, which gives me my scale tool. I'll select that yellow box and scale it down. Still, it can be hard to see what you're modeling when it's too big like this. So my suggestion is to select each one of these planes and kind of put it away, like in one axis. Move it in one axis. So I'll say swish, go the other way. You swish, go the other way. You go down, swish down. So now everything's apart. But if you look here, there's still kind of a line because we only move it in the axis that's facing the camera. That's good. Although what's not good is sometimes you might actually accidentally select the reference. So in this case, for instance, I'm trying to scale my model. I might do something like that. I'll say R, and I want to scale my model, and then I actually scale the reference as well. So we want to try as best as possible not to move all this reference that we have here. So this should all stay still. It should also ideally not be moved at all. As I can see here, I think I slightly move it a bit. Oh, that's fine because I'm moving it in X, so that's fine. So ideally we shouldn't bother, we shouldn't even touch it at all. So I'm going to select all 3, select 1, Control Shift, that becomes a plus, select that guy, select that guy. You see, with the layer editor on, we want to press this icon here, create a new layer and assign selected objects. What that means is it will create a new layer down here, and all the objects that we selected here will be placed inside that new layer. So I'm gonna press that. So it creates a new layer. You can rename this, by the way, by double clicking if you wanted to. So save, and I'm gonna check to see whether that's correct. V here is to turn it off, visibility on and off. So I'm gonna select that, it turns off, switch it again, it will show. Alright, the third box here is what we're gonna use to lock it. Right now I can still select it. If I click that, it becomes T, a wireframe. Click it again, it becomes R. Now what that means is it's a reference layer. That means I can't select it anymore. So that eases our modeling part. Much easier for me to select without even selecting the ones at the back. Alright, the other thing that's not working is I can't see my reference when it's like this. So if you see here, there's this one option called X-ray. It's like these two squares that's overlapping. So I'm gonna click that. So now it becomes X-ray. But where did my cube go? Well, it's still there. It's just, because it's X-ray, we can't see it. So another thing that you can do is, if you see here, it's called wireframe on shaded. So if you select that, now you can see your cube. So my suggestion is to go inside each one of these viewports, select X-ray, select wireframe on shaded. Again, wireframe on shaded, X-ray and wireframe on shaded. Right. So now everything's set up. I'm gonna stop this video and I'll continue in the next one.